You're listening to the Uncensored Direct Marketing Show. This show is designed for direct response marketers who want raw, unfiltered conversion tips and secrets to scale their offers profitably to reach their next million. I'm Maria Sparagus. I'm the founder of Direct Painted and your host. Now let's dive in. Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of Uncensored Direct Marketing. Today, I have a very special guest, and we're going to be talking about affiliate marketing with Jazette Pester. Jazette and I met in a very funny way, I guess. Jazette, we met through a common contact. You used to work with Ty Buckles at Shoe Money. Yep. So this is definitely a blast for the past. This is an old contact of mine who's a contact of yours that put us together. And Ty said that you are the original OG of affiliate marketing and you know what's up. So after we had our brief conversation, I said, I really need to have Jazette on the show so we can really dig into everything affiliate marketing and give our guests some good tidbits on how to manage their affiliates. So thank you so much, Jazette, for appearing on the show. And I'll let you say a few brief words about your experience and what you've done in the last 10, 20 years, but not 20, 10, not more than 10.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you for having me on this show. It's a pleasure to meet you. And yeah, I've known Ty for a very long time. It seems like you have as well. And he's a great guy. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. It sounded fun. And basically, I've been doing affiliate marketing since 2004. So hopefully that ages me, I guess, but that's all right. But I got my start after I got out of college and started working for a company called CPA Empire. That turned into, was Opt-in real big and then turned into affiliate.com when we rebranded. So kind of got my start there and then moved over. I was there for, I believe, 9 years. And then I moved over to Axon Media Group, which was a great place to work as well. And basically did the same affiliate management and stayed there for probably about 4 years and then moved on to Flex Marketing Group, and I did some consulting for them. And now I'm at Rate Special Interactive. So currently, and I've almost been there almost about a year now. So
wow. Yeah. And you've been managing affiliates this whole time. Is that your primary work, I guess?
Yeah, primarily, basically has been affiliates. At Axon and at Flex, I also worked with advertisers as well, which was fun as well. But I feel like I'm definitely more an affiliate manager is what I've learned about myself. Yeah. I really like working with the publishers.
What kind of offers do you manage usually? What's the majority of the offers that you've managed in the last couple of years?
Well, basically, Flex and Axon, they had a wide variety of offers in their platform, where at Rate Special, we're a little more niche. So, we have some pretty exclusive offers, I guess you'd say, in our portal. So, yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's really, being in the affiliate space for that long, I managed affiliates in the adult space for probably about a year. And I did pretty well. I have to say it was 2006. And for some reason, just because I was a woman, I think it just worked. So I find it's, and I get this from a lot of women in this industry is that, affiliate manager women seem to do better or they seem to have an edge, Do you find that's accurate? You've been in the space long enough to see so many different players.
100%. I agree with you on that because when I first got my start, to be honest with you, in 2004, I didn't really know what I was doing because I was like, what am I doing? Sell what? And then how does this work? And we're doing CPMs and it was very, a lot of the lingo I didn't understand, but, going through it and getting to the trade shows and stuff, I think you do have a little bit of an edge because I think we're always a little more approachable. So, there wasn't as many women either, so.
We stuck out at Affiliate Summit and all that stuff. I remember when I went in 2009 was the first time I went to Affiliate Summit. It was like a sausage fest. I was like, where are the women here?
100%. Yes. Yes. I remember my old boss hired Missy Ward and she was doing some stuff for us at affiliate.com. And I was so thankful for her. She was a rock star. So still is. So, but I was like, oh, she's great. Yeah, she taught me a lot, just in the industry, and she's definitely one of the OGs. So.
Yeah, no, but you know what? Affiliate Summit, funny enough, although it's like an affiliate show, I got like my first few clients from there. I made so many business deals. Like the first couple of years of that show, like I haven't been in a while, but like the first couple of years of that show, it was like I was meeting. It was like the place to be. Everybody who's anybody in direct response, just like anything online marketing was there.
Yeah. It was the biggest. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been in a while since COVID, but I was going, and it was still, large and doing great. The last couple of times I was in the Vegas one, I want to say maybe 5 years ago. I guess it's been a little while, but it was a lot of fun. I love those shows. Hopefully we can get back to normal.
So too. I would like to go back for sure.
Yeah.
Since you've been in this space for so long, I'm just curious. I like to see, people who have transitioned through different like eras of an industry. Like, what are the biggest changes you've seen, let's say from 2004 to 2010, and then the last decade, like in terms of like affiliate management? Like I remember back in my day, when we managed affiliates, like we weren't clawing back like refunds and chargebacks and stuff like that. It was just kind of like, we were losing so much money from stuff like that. So what are some of the biggest things that you've seen kind of transition from your early days?
Definitely in the early days, it was like kind of a free for all. Like you're saying, it was like, we weren't really sure how to track down, fraud, as well as like how somebody was like running an offer. And I want to say the advertisers, were a little, not necessarily like more lenient, but I don't think knew kind of what, what are they doing? What is this publisher doing? And is it going to back out? And there wasn't a lot of processes in place. So, sometimes it was really great. And other times it was like, this did not go well. And then getting paid, wasn't always the easiest, which I feel like, now we kind of have processes in place that help, kind of with getting everybody on the same page, with the publisher as well as the network. And then you have the advertiser. So if you can get everybody kind of on the same page, and I feel like it's a little more, I want to say strict, maybe not strict. I don't know what the word is.
maybe more organized.
Organized. Yes. That's a good word. Yeah. Cause it's just, I think like everybody kind of knows, or maybe they're not as like, my publishers are a little more open to like how they're marketing, before, back when I started in 2004, everybody thought, oh, you're going to steal this, or, it's like, nobody's stealing anything. I don't even know what you're doing. I just need to know so that we can figure this out, and I want to say that trends of the market have changed quite a bit, just because of I think it kind of goes with the economy. So basically back like, 2004, we were really huge in the ringtone space, which, that would never happen now. There's no such thing as that offer.
Never know. It might come back. People might want new ringtones.
Yeah. Yeah. And then for a while we sold American flags, I mean, and I remember, my old boss had a bunch in his basement, and, it's like, it's crazy, but we don't have stuff like that anymore. So
what's old is new again. Sometimes we never know. It's
Yeah.
I mean, the interesting thing I find about the affiliate industry is not necessarily how quickly it changes, but how when one person does something, it almost like mushrooms into everybody doing the same thing. So like, for example, like payouts, like what's a good rule of thumb for payouts? Like, do people get paid daily, weekly, or is it like really to the discretion of the parties involved, or like what are your best practices, I guess, on like, let's say, for example, an offer owner has an affiliate program, like should he be paying once a week, once a day, once a month?
I want to say, basically before you kind of know how the traffic's going to back out, you definitely want to be net 30, just because, the advertiser, that's probably how they pay you, so you don't want to like put the cart before the horse, be like, this is going to be great. And then it's not, so then you always want to like put your best practices forward, so that you are watching out for the company that you are working for. And then basically if, things are working well, then I think you could always have a probability to maybe move to net 15, as long as I think if you have a great relationship, with the publisher as well as the advertiser.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, that brings me to my next question. So we talked about payouts. What are your best tips to attract affiliates? Because I mean, there's a lot of affiliates, there's a lot of offers. I mean, we can play the pricing game and the affiliate commission game, but after a while, like it kind of like there's a point where, you know, the parties can't you know, can't pay more than a certain amount. So what are your best tips or your advice to attract affiliates and keep them once they're doing well?
You know, like you said, I mean, payouts are always a big thing, you know, to a publisher, you know, and also the type of offers you have, they have to be attractive, you know, to the publishers, as well as not everybody has this offer, you know. And I believe too, it's more of a relationship. You want it to feel like, you know, almost like they're a friend of yours. You know, I feel like you have to really build off of speaking to them on a daily basis. You know, you can't just assume they're going to be like, oh, you know, you have a great offer, so I'm going to run it. I feel like relationship is huge. You know, it's definitely, you want to get to know them, you know, and be a part of their life. It's almost kind of like anything, I guess, like even in real estate, or, you know, it's always like you want to be definitely always in their, not in their face, but you want to ask them how they're doing and if they're doing well, and
it's a
their
lot
family, you know.
Yeah, it's a lot of relationship management. I remember some of my top affiliates, it was like, oh, how was your kid's birthday party? How was this? How was that? And it was, I mean, it was, I think more so with affiliates than like in affiliate management, the relationship building was like the biggest part. Like, that's why I think I was so successful. It was just, I got to know everybody. I got to, you know, talk to everyone on a personal level. And then, you know, it worked well. But all things being equal, how do you think affiliates are attracted to certain offers? Like, for example, let's say you have a whole bunch of like health offers. How would an affiliate decide which one to choose?
I think if you can kind of tell them some background, you know, on it, and if you've had it in your, you know, your network for a while, I mean, you can be like, this is what it's doing for others. And if you give them facts, and, you know, numbers don't lie, you know, so if it performs once they put it up, then they know like, oh yeah, you know, she's got it right, you know.
Okay. So you do give affiliates, basically you give them like kind of info sheets about the different offers.
Yeah, I think you definitely, a lot of them kind of want some specs on, depending on, you know, kind of what they're looking for. You really got to see what they are like, what type of EPC they're looking for, like the target they're looking at, and then try to get to their level of expectation. Otherwise, I mean, really, they're going to be like, I can't do this because I'm spending this amount of money and it's not going to back out, you know, so even if they like you, that probably won't work. They'll still be like, I like you, but.
Well, for sure. And then, but that brings me to another question, which is like, what if you're new, you know, you have a new offer or you're launching something new? How do you attract them away from things that are already working?
I think that is kind of, you're going to have to rely on the advertiser to see maybe if they have any background on, you know, the expectation of how it's going to do. And if they don't, you really have to find, you know, the publishers that you have a really good relationship with, where they're maybe okay testing it and maybe it doesn't do as well, you know, and they're fine with that, you know, what they did you kind of like a favor to see like, did this do okay? You know, no, it didn't, or yes, this is great. We got a winner. So that's kind of,
I guess that's why it's, I mean, you know, I was kind of getting to this whole, you know, having a, you know, like either doing it in-house or outsourcing it, right? Your affiliate management. And I guess if you do outsource it, it's a pretty big benefit that somebody already have like, you know, like at Rate Special and all the different companies that you worked for, you guys already have a network of affiliates. You can have people test it. You can have people, you know, give tips and advice on how to make things better. But if somebody were to say, I'm going to do it in-house, or I guess maybe the better question is, if you're starting something new or you're opening up to affiliates for the first time, would you suggest outsource being the best way to go to begin with? Or would you say start small, in-house, recruit a couple of affiliates, and then take it outsourced?
I'd probably start small in-house and just with a couple of affiliates. I mean, just to see, you know, you don't want to, like, I always say, like, you always got to start with your grassroots, you know, I mean, I feel like that's a huge thing. If you don't have the grass still growing, and you don't water the little seeds, then it's like you may have some big seeds here and there, and then it's like they might go like this. But you always got to have the solid foundation. So I feel like if you're new, and I think that's something you should always focus on is your grassroots, 100%.
I mean, I have a lot of merchants that I know, and, we work with a lot of different merchants at Direct PayNet, and a lot of them are very fearful of affiliate traffic because, they have they're dialed in. These are like mature offers, they're doing well, but they're like, oh, I need to grow. Sometimes I'll say, oh, do you have an affiliate program? Oh, no, we're not touching that. We're worried about chargebacks. Yeah. We're worried about a refund rate and so forth. So it's like getting their feet dipped in it is a bit, it's scary. It's scarier than any other traffic source. So, working with a trusted partner, I guess, like you guys, is probably a good idea. But other than that, you said managing it in-house. Would you get like an affiliate manager and then have somebody kind of like put the stats together and really kind of dive into to get some metrics to be able to know what your baseline is? So when you go outsource, this is what you're expecting?
100%. Yeah. I mean, I think you definitely, get an AM, to check into all this stuff and have all the facts out there. And then you have, a solid foundation there that you feel that can back up what you're doing. So.
Wow, you're answering so many questions. I have like a million in my head, and I'm trying not to like jump to too many topics, but I was thinking, back in the day when I was doing the adult affiliate management, we had a CPA, and then we also had a rev share model. And, a lot of the affiliates would start with the rev share model, but then towards the end of my tenure, everything kind of switched to CPA. What are your thoughts on that? I know, I think rev share is dead, but I'm not really sure. Is that still a thing that are people offering? Let's say you have, your LTVs really big, and you have people that can stay on for many, many months. Is that still a viable model?
I think basically CPA is, mainly what a lot of networks work off of, okay. But I think there is still some rev share models in place. Okay. Sometimes advertisers kind of like to do rev share and a blended payout. I would imagine it's kind of what they would maybe want to do. Okay. But I think it's kind of whatever works for your business model. And sometimes rev shares don't work for a publisher, and sometimes they do, okay. Sometimes they want a straight CPA, or sometimes, I feel like anymore, there's not as many networks, we've kind of narrowed down, there's so many, and some of them kind of went away, and some of them, I guess publishers as well kind of know what they are looking for. This is what I want, so it's like, oh, okay. So I think it's the best way to maybe be this is what we can help you with, or, I'm not sure, whichever, whoever you decide to go with as a network, I guess that'd be more what they would like to do. So, yeah.
Do you find that versus other traffic cost wise, do you think that affiliate traffic is more expensive in general than, let's say, Facebook traffic? Or not to get, I know you're not necessarily a Facebook or any other ad specialist, but the impression that I get, again, just this is so anecdotal. I'm zero data here, but I do hear affiliates are really expensive. It's harder to manage and stuff like that. It's more of a headache. So what are, I guess maybe the better question is, what are some practices to make sure that affiliate traffic is a very viable traffic source for you to kind of diversify? Because Facebook can, decide to have a policy change tomorrow morning and your business is gone if you're just doing Facebook, which I've seen time and time again. And same thing with Google, they're doing their updates and stuff like that. Something can change and then your business is wiped out. I feel like affiliate traffic is a little bit more certain because you have an actual human being that's, pushing traffic to you through various sources. So, I guess I'm going around in circles, but I hope the question is clear. Is what would you say to somebody who has that objection where, affiliate traffic is too expensive or it's too much of a headache, or how would you convince them that no, actually it's not?
Well, I think they kind of have a little bit more balance. They probably know what the market prices are and how to stay on. Affiliates kind of know that. They know how to get Facebook traffic and they know how to target it. And, so I don't think it would be more expensive per se, because they might know some, back end stuff and, maybe that they don't, because they've been in the industries for so long and maybe they're following the trends, because that's kind of what their business model is. Plus then you're getting a blend and a balance. If you have all these different affiliates, running all these different ways, you're not just getting flooded with Facebook traffic or flooded with Google, maybe they're an email marketer, so that would kind of be why I would go in the way of like working with an affiliate network.
Oh, awesome. So, so you find that affiliates just in your network or your experience in the last couple of years, do you find that a lot of affiliates, do the traffic sources kind of stay similar for the offers? Like if you have like an affiliate program in health versus credit versus, sports betting or whatever the case is, like would each of the offers have like a very typical type of affiliate profile, or do the affiliates really try to diversify and you get like some email traffic, some Facebook traffic, or what's the split of the different traffics?
Honestly, it varies. I feel like, even, at the different networks I've worked at, you have some affiliate marketers that, they do display email, and they may have a website that they, want to put things up on, and they drive their own traffic to it, or they have organic traffic as well. And then basically asking kind of on the advertiser side, like, hey, what do you want display traffic? And maybe they're doing their own in-house, like Facebook traffic. So they may say, no, we don't want that because that would become a competitor to the advertiser. So you really have to like ask them like what each need is, so they're not going, oh, no, we don't want that because that doesn't help our business model. So like I think it always goes back to relationship, with the advertising as well as the affiliate. And I think communication is huge, between the whole bridge of, relationship. So.
Well, that's pretty interesting because if you're doing, let's say your own Facebook traffic, your own Google traffic or whatever the case is, but you're weak on email or you're weak on, organic or whatever, you can go to an agency and say, hey, look, this is the gap that I'm looking to fill. I don't want any more Facebook traffic. So, that's an excellent tip for somebody who's looking to get their feet wet in getting some affiliate traffic is pick a source that you're not monetizing right now and yeah, wow, that's okay. Well, that's a great tip. We're going to use that for sure.
It kind of makes sense. It's like, you don't want to put on more, if you're spending money, you don't want to make your costs go up,
For sure.
An advertiser needs to come in and say like, this is what we're looking for, to expand, our product,
for sure.
And then that way a lot of networks can, say like, oh yeah, we can definitely help with that. Or maybe it isn't, something they can help with. It just depends on the different networks, kind of what they specialize in, So, yeah.
And how do you guys, how do you just in general, just as an affiliate manager, how do you check the quality of the traffic that's being sent? Like, for example, you're getting, we've all heard the horror stories of, the customers were promised an iPhone if they buy this, or, these nightmare scenarios, and then all these refunds are coming in. How do you, there's some checks that you can do, but what are like maybe a couple of tips that could really be actionable to verify the quality of the traffic or where it's coming from? But obviously thinking, let's say a really big offer owner might not be able to check every single traffic source of every single affiliate. Like it could be a nightmare to have that, to do that. So what are a couple of quick things somebody can do to make sure that, things are legit traffic wise from specific affiliates?
I think basically like communication with the advertiser is probably one of the biggest, things, just so they're on the same page, and you don't have any surprises, at the end where they're like, this is not backing out, and that way you kind of are all on the same page. And I think always asking what type of metrics they're trying to hit, as well as the publisher, you need to ask them like, what are your goals? And I think, if they, learning a publisher is kind of like if, they're sending bad traffic, they probably won't be able to answer those questions, like they'll be like, oh, whatever, if they're doing stuff like anymore though. See, I don't feel like the offers are as like easy to, fraud, because I don't see a lot of those like get a free iPhone, or like not like they were back in the day, So
Yeah.
I think the advertisers definitely know now kind of what they're looking for, and kind of what type of targets need to be hit on the back end.
Okay.
Possibly maybe they put caps in place, so that they can say like, I only want to take X amount, and then we're going to, you can see how it's looking on our end or stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, I guess what it sounds like, affiliates are now just more willing, like advertisers and publishers are now working a little bit more close together to make sure that everybody's happy. Because I mean, back in 2006 or so, it was like, send traffic, we'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
It was just whatever.
Yeah. I think you had a lot of big back end buyers back then, on stuff, and you had a lot of capital on these companies, and they didn't know which end was up sometimes, and it wasn't bad. It just maybe didn't get them the best customers.
Yeah, I mean, when I started Direct Painted in like 2010, affiliate traffic was, especially when for health and beauty, anything health and beauty was like really affiliate traffic driven, and I saw so many epic disasters occur. Yeah. Just like people,
the rebills,
the rebills, and then the affiliates.
I didn't know they were getting rebilled.
It was a nightmare, and these companies that were making like millions of dollars one month were just literally going bankrupt the next day.
100%.
It was a nightmare, So I mean, obviously now things have cleaned up, and it's important that both parties are speaking to each other to make sure. Because I mean, if you're an affiliate and the offer you're promoting is goes bankrupt, then you have to kind of rejig all your tools, and it makes it harder for you as an affiliate as well.
Exactly. So. Yeah, they got to keep up with the trends, what is hot, and if that's not one of them right now, then they, know they need to change their business model. It's like, okay, well, I need to change it. Not that it was necessarily their fault. It was just, I think sometimes the advertiser, even on those, it was like, I don't think some of the consumer knew they were like getting a rebill, It was like, oh no, I'm getting billed again.
Billing practices.
So it was like, what is this? But I feel like communication has gotten a lot better. Just in general. And, I just think the space is still, has a lot of potential, and I feel like it's still growing. And like I said, I think it's like always keeping up with the trend, like what's hot right now, what's big, it's kind of like makes things better. I don't know. I feel like we've lost some offers along the way, but then you think about something else happening on in our worlds, and it's like, this will make sense, Yeah. So, no,
I mean, the offers that I see, like the health offers, beauty offers, and, info products and all that, the billing practices are now a lot better. It's a lot clearer. The pages are a lot clearer. There's a lot more, sophistication, I guess is the word. Like, I mean, I remember, like, again, 10 years ago, it was like, you just throw a page, there's like, I don't know, 500 words on there, and it was like, go.
Exactly. I think the advertiser do like if they're promoting something, they know how to be more clear. Like, this is what's, this is the deal. Yeah.
And the affiliates had a lot less to work with. You know what I mean? Like if as an affiliate, if you're looking for like email copy, you could probably just get it from the offer page, right? Like you guys provide all of that stuff. Like back in my day, I used to provide like creatives and all that. Like I used to give people banner ads and obviously product. Oh, you guys do that. Okay. So you provide all of it.
Yeah. No, I mean, now it's definitely more the advertiser kind of, like what they want, how do they want their offer promoted? It's basically, usually it's like word, and you always got to have the unsubscribe and, things are like very strict in that they have a suppression file.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're an email marketer, they definitely know that they're going to have to use best practices,
Yeah, email marketing is tough.
Exactly.
I mean, just not getting into spam is already like a challenge. So it's definitely, I commend all affiliates, but email marketers who are able to get through that Gmail promotion tab.
Challenging.
On that page, you're like, oh man, this guy's gold.
Exactly. And they know what they're doing.
For sure.
100%. Yeah.
So talking about, just best practices and things to attract affiliates. Do you guys still do affiliate contests? Do you think affiliate contests are good things, bad things, do's and don'ts? Like what's your thoughts on that?
but the last few places we haven't done any, we used to do a lot, back a long time ago, and it was fun. I thought it was a good time and it was a good challenge, but we haven't done one, and we used to have them win tickets to Affiliate Summit and stuff. That was kind of cool. Yeah. Like back in 2007 and 2008. And it was kind of a cool little challenge, for them because they really wanted to go to the show. So it was fun. And I hope we can maybe start doing that again at some point. I don't know.
Does that get people like really behind an offer, you find? Like when you do these little kind of contests, it does? Okay.
Some affiliates really wanted to go, I mean, back, when the shows were packed, I guess with COVID, there isn't any really going on, and hopefully we can get back to those days because that was a good time. I think, always face-to-face is better, just because you get to know somebody. Yeah. You just get to kind of get to know somebody better. So.
Yeah, it's funny. I find that the affiliate space is still a very face-to-face kind of making deals over a couple of drinks in Vegas.
Yeah. Even though it's like we're all probably remote and, stuff like that. We're all over the place, but it's always nice to meet in the middle and, build a solid, a more solid relationship where you feel more connected with that person.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm going to tell you a very funny contest that I ran. Part of the affiliate management team, and it would probably be your worst nightmare. We did something crazy. So back in 2006, when I was running the affiliates, we were trying to get more traffic. It was just a very, very competitive space. The adult space is still very competitive. I believe
it. Yeah.
So we had our CPA was like $25 to $30 at that point.
Oh, wow.
We did a $150 CPA day.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
$150 per sale. But then the genius part of that was we ran the affiliate contest. Most of our affiliates were in the US, right? So like that, Pacific time zone to Eastern time zone. We ran the affiliate contest from midnight Thursday Eastern to Friday midnight Eastern. So then on the weekends, all the affiliates were kind of like not really interested in changing their traffic. So we got all the traffic from the weekend, which paid off all the contests from the from there. It started a war though. It really started. Then it was like $200 days and it was like never ending. I was like, what a nightmare. This was a bad idea.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Like savage. Yeah.
So I that's my school of thought with the affiliate contest is that for me, when I was looking at the risk and the stats after the affiliate, it was terrible. It was terrible. We got so many refunds and chargebacks and just like all these people out of the woodwork. So that's why I was asking about affiliate contests. I'm like, I don't hear about these huge contests.
There isn't any like that I know of much anymore. Okay. I think, the risk to reward may not pay back very good.
Yeah, for sure. Especially for the offer owners, that might suffer from that. But no, I mean, it's very interesting. I still think that there's a lot of good stuff in affiliate marketing. Yes. We hear a lot of people bringing it in-house, but to me, just like that golden nugget of what you said is that you can pick a traffic source that you're not using actively, whatever, and go with affiliates for that. And then that almost gives you like best practices or gives you an idea of how your offer would do on email or on Facebook if you're not using Facebook and stuff like that. So that's really like super, super interesting. So Jazette, I've taken a lot of your time and I know you have your brain is full of all this goodness of affiliate marketing. Do you have any other tips or anything that you want to share with our audience on, what you think about the affiliate space?
No, I think it's, still doing great business. I mean, I think there's definitely always, trends that are different from like probably last year or the year before that, but I think as long as, you keep up with the trends and you keep your best foot forward, I feel like you're going to be successful, whether you be a publisher, an advertiser, or an affiliate manager. I think, I think there's a lot of success in affiliate marketing. So.
So I lied. I have one last question now because I was like, oh, I did not. I have another question. I'm like the Riddler. I never stop with the question.
I like it.
So for if you're going to outsource to an agency, what like as an offer owner, what do I need to look for in an agency? Am I looking for an agency that does, let's say, health offers all day, or am I looking for somebody who doesn't do health offers? Or what are like some of the questions I would ask, let's say, to interview somebody to know if they're a good fit?
I think, basically kind of like how long they've been in business would be, one of them, just how long the agency's been around.
Okay.
Just because I think that's kind of a big deal. And maybe it isn't, because maybe they're new and they're upcoming and it's going to be huge, who knows? But, and then I think always you got to have a good synergy with, the person you're working with. I mean, if you don't have that, then I would always say like, use your gut. Because I know that's always like, people say that in life, but I do think you should always use it in business as well. Because if it doesn't feel right, then it's probably not right,
For sure.
But, and then I also would, I guess if you have a health offer, I would definitely make sure that if, that network or agency has traffic for that offer, like expectation, so, maybe they don't have it. So you just want to make sure you don't want to put all this effort and work into something and then you don't get the expectation that you were looking for at the end. So,
so ask questions, get some stats, and
communication is huge.
A Zoom call if you can't have a drink with the person.
Absolutely. Yeah. You can always cheers them up. Yeah. Cheers them up somewhere after this craziness ends in our world, hopefully. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Jazette. This was really, really informative. I mean, I lost a little bit of that. I guess my ear to the ground was a little bit closer when I was in the adult space, but because they heavily rely on affiliates. And then I feel like in the last couple of years, I haven't been hearing that much about affiliates. But the traffic source is alive and doing well. And I think the stigma of working with an agency like 10 years ago was a little bit high. But now there's people like you and there's networks out there that are doing it right, because we all know that if the more people you burn, it's a big world, but it's a small world. You know what I mean?
Yes,
you burn enough affiliates, or you burn either advertisers or publishers, whoever you burn, it's going to come back.
Your name will get out there. Yeah,
exactly. So you don't
always put your best foot forward. Yes. 100%. Yes.
And then once you burn somebody, they're not coming back. That bridge is gone. Right. So, and then that person goes and works at another agency and they're like, we're not working with that guy. So,
and it's a close group, even though it seems large, but if you've been around a long time, you definitely know the names and the good. And, it's definitely, it's a big space, but it's a small little unit,
For sure. Yeah. I agree. And it's the same thing in the payment space. I mean, I hear people's names and people I haven't heard about in 10 years. They'll come back somewhere and be like, oh, wow, I haven't heard from this person for this long and so forth. So you gotta keep it clean. And the affiliate space, I feel like, a lot of affiliates refer their affiliate friends when something's working.
Yes.
So it's a lot of referral and a lot of kind of goodwill, I did, this is performing well and so forth. So it's interesting. And it's interesting that, if people are coming to you as an agency, you can give them some stats and some numbers and they can make informed decisions, because, that wasn't available up until, I don't know. I exited the space a long, long time ago, but I remember back in the day, it was like affiliates would contact me and be like, yeah, our offer is good.
Yeah. I remember saying that actually.
Good.
I remember just run it. Yeah, back when I wasn't sure, I'm like, just run it. Well, what are the EPC? I don't know. Just run it. And I mean, it's just because it was like learning as you go, the knowledge, just because it was a different space. I mean, I remember for a while people would say, you're CPA Empire. What are you guys, a bunch of accountants? I was like, no. I'm like, cost per action. Getting the lingo down back,
there's the affiliate space there's so much lingo. There's a CPA,
CPC, EPC, ECPM. Yeah, it's like, geez, it's a whole nother, it's almost like short code, if you don't know it, and you're like sitting there going, huh? Yeah. So it's definitely, like I said, communication is big, even if you maybe do have an advertiser who hasn't been in the internet space and they've only kind of, been on the TV commercials, and they don't know their expectations. So you kind of got to help them, a little bit along the way. So we might have a little more knowledge than they do, but it still might work out well for them. So it's always worth a try.
And it's a good thing to test. I mean, testing new traffic sources or testing new relationships is never going to hurt, as long as two people, both parties are going in together and are honest. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just good business practices. And that's the summary of our show. So that was our final thoughts.
Awesome. I like it. We did good.
Thank you so much, Jazette. This was really awesome. And as usual, to the audience, if you guys have any questions for Jazette, you can contact me on every social media platform or on my website, mariasparagus.com. And thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Hope you found today's session valuable. If you have any questions for me or just want to connect, please feel free to visit my website, mariasparagus.com. That's mariasparagus.com. I'd love to hear what you're working on, so drop me a line on any hot button issues your business is experiencing. And remember, don't worry about failure. You only have to be right once.